will be tapping in as I know others will be too. So good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. I am Lolita E. Walker. I am so excited to be here this morning. It is closing into the holidays and the new year. And I come to you every single week just to bring you a little bit of what I call coaching cocktails and conversations. Now, coaching is really all about just leaving you with a couple nuggets to challenge your thinking. Cocktails is not so much about what you're sipping on. Listen, it can be water, tea, or something stronger. There is absolutely no judgment happening over here, but it's more about celebrating the greatness of who it is that you are in this very moment. And then conversations is all about the juiciness that we're going to have here today. So we are streaming live on Facebook, Coaching Cocktails and Conversations, in LinkedIn, YouTube, and of course, Breakfast with Champions on Clubhouse. And then that's going to transition into my podcast, Coaching Cocktails and Conversations. And, I bring you this half an hour of power. And typically I bring you all of this amazing knowledge through a powerful acronym. But today I am going to give you this exercise that I do with my clients. And I just embarked on this exercise yesterday with a client. And I thought, you know what? Let's today talk about how to generate capacity at a local and strategic level. How to generate capacity at a local and strategic level. So if it's just your first time meeting me, I am a certified life leadership and executive coach. I'm a power speaker, mommy, podcaster, poet, you name it, I'm doing it. And I just love being inside of a place and space where I could leave you with a couple nuggets to challenge your thinking. So if you don't already have out your Coaching Cocktails and Conversations journal, then go ahead and pull that out. And if you don't happen to have one, you can head over to lolitawalker.com. But in the meantime, in between time, grab a sheet of paper because today is going to be soul work, and I'm going to use an umbrella in order to talk to you about this notion of generating capacity at a local and strategic level. This soul work of what I'm giving to you is really work that's going to challenge your thinking, but I want you to be able to write it down to take it beyond today. Today is about writing down these nuggets so that then you can look at it, you can imagine it, and then you can apply it to your work, your life, your home. I want to first say, hey, Grand Rising, Lolita E. Walker. I'm not sure who that is, but they are on Facebook. Good morning. Good morning. And then also on Facebook, hey, Jackie Underwood. So glad to see you as well. And in our community, we have Linnell. Hey. What a beautiful post that you made today. I'm so excited to be part of your journey. Tash Queen. And yes, Linnell. Lolita with a T. I missed that too. I know. I'm Lolita with a T. Just as a backstory, when people say my name, oftentimes they say Lolita and they say it with a D. And they don't mean anything by it, but it's Lolita with a T. And there was a point in time where, because I was in a new community with new people, I will always say it's Lolita with a T. And so that is where that came from. Hey, Yolanda. All right, you guys, I've given you enough time to go ahead and grab your CC&C notebook or a sheet of paper. And I'll tell you that this morning, I grabbed a sheet of paper and I'm going to show it to you. So all of you all looking, you can also see that I did the work. You see my umbrella right here. It has a handle and it has all these words of what I'm going to talk to you about. Because when I talk to you about coaching cocktails and conversations, it's because I also do the work right with you. I know that it works because I've taken other people through it and I've leveraged it in order to make sure that I am following the same processes, systems, and methodologies that I talk to you all about. So we only have a power half an hour. So what I want you to do first on your sheet of paper, or if you are just in your mind thinking about it, I want you to think about an umbrella. And I want you to think about a picture with the umbrella fully open. Okay. So mine has a little hook at the bottom like a J. But yours can be straight, however you want that there. And I want you to draw this umbrella. And it has these amazing spokes. And mine has a little J at the end. If you are watching me, then you see me using my hands to actually draw this umbrella. But I'm giving you time. And I want to show you all that are looking on any of these platforms what mine looks like. You see right here. This is my umbrella. Don't judge my umbrella, people. Okay. You can color yours at the end. So we have this umbrella, and I'm going to take you through a couple of steps in order to help you really think about this thing differently. Don't forget, today we're talking about how you're going to generate capacity at a local and strategic level. When I say local level, I mean the power of who it is that you are. Okay. This balance between your local capacity, because we all have a million things going on, and then your strategic capacity. And that just means in life and work and home. Okay. That means external strategies, the external use. So now I'm talking about how are you going to generate this capacity at both a local, me, Lolita, internal capacity, personal level, and then the strategic view in that level there. All right. So you have your umbrella. I'm so excited about it. And the first thing that I want to talk to you about is this handle. Think about it. When you're holding this handle, what are you holding? And what I have here, let me get to that screen because I also want to show it to you all who are watching, is that this handle is one of self-awareness. This is a sturdy handle that's going to support your entire structure that we're talking about today. Today, we're talking about what I like to call the capacity umbrella. The Walker & Walker Enterprises capacity umbrella. And that's what I'm talking you through this framework today. And at the base of it is this handle that is going to provide this sturdy handle of support for your entire structure. You are holding that thing up. Think about as you're walking out and it's raining outside, you are holding that up. If you move it to the right, it's going to tilt. If you move it back, the rain is going to fall on you. You are in control of that thing. And that is the sturdiness of self-awareness. I want us to remember that as we're moving into this new season, wherever you are in your life, whenever you're listening back to the replay of this, that you personally hold this handle of self-awareness. And that's where we're going to start. So now, because you've drawn your umbrella, what's the next thing that you see is these spokes, right? You know, when you look at an umbrella and you're holding it up, well, it's being held by these spokes. And if you really look closely at your umbrella, so I want you guys to look at umbrellas totally different as of today, but you'll see that it's really held in place by this small piece that's holding these metal pieces out so that your umbrella can now cover you. I hope you're following me. This umbrella is now covering you. But when I talk about these spokes, what if these spokes are of personal growth? What do your spokes represent? I'm thinking things like your skills, your habits, your mindset, your community, the people you choose to allow in, like your internal amazingness, the spokes of this personal growth. What do each of yours represent? So I want to give you a minute to really think about what do your spokes represent? I love that Jackie says, I love your soul work exercises. I know, me too. I wake up and I think of all of these amazing ways that I could craft information so that you can pull it and then you can use it in your everyday. Good morning, Malika Starr. Good to see you as well. So because you're drawing this, you already know that the first piece of this umbrella of capacity, according to Walker & Walker Enterprises, according to Lolita E. Walker, the CEO of Walker & Walker Enterprises, then you have this handle of self-awareness that creates this sturdy handle, okay? And you are in control of how it moves. And now we're moving up because the spokes that are there that are holding this amazing strategic capacity that's there, that are holding the pieces of you, the spokes are personal growth. So I want you to just start writing down right here, what are your spokes of personal growth? And I gave you some examples. It's right here on the screen. It is things like your skills. That might be one spoke that you want to write some things in. Your habits, your mindset, the folks that you're allowing into your space, the people that feel you, the things that are making you who you are today. Okay. That's what the spokes represent. And so if you look at my paper, because I want to show you guys, these are my spokes right here. And I have 4, but you could, whatever your umbrella looks like, I want you to then start writing in there. And that's where I have what my skills are, what my habits are, what my mindset is. How am I thinking? Because this is personal growth. Remember, today's topics, the singular topic that we're talking about is I want to introduce you to Walker & Walker Enterprises capacity umbrella. And in that, it is how do you generate capacity at a local and strategic level. And what I'm suggesting to you all today is that you really start thinking through what that looks like as we start planning and moving and shifting differently. As you write that, a couple of people have said, my spokes, my gifts, my talents, my strengths, my resilience. Ooh, love that. and love the spokes. Okay, so let's keep on going because I want to make sure that in this power half an hour, you're able to draw out your whole capacity umbrella, and then we'll have some juicy conversations for those brave enough to go in with me. Okay. All right. So we talked about the handle. We talked about the spokes. Now I want to talk about crafting your strategic canopy, is what I call it. This is your strategic capacity. It's your external resources. It's your networks. It's your knowledge. It's the things that I like to think of it like rain. Okay. So you have your umbrella up. What it raining down the blessings, raining down the things that are really helping you to strengthen your strategic canopy. It's really helping you to strengthen it. And as it permeates down, some of it's going to fall down on you because we're human and things happen. And then it pours into your personal life as well. So when I think about crafting your strategic canopy, I want you to think about this is your strategic capacity. Remember, we're talking about how to generate your capacity at a local and strategic level. How do you generate it? By first knowing it, right? And then we talk about how you strengthen it, and we'll go back through in a bit. All right. So now you have this strategic canopy, and I want you to really think about those things because as you craft the strategic canopy, think about things that's raining down on you, like your, like I said, your external resources that you have. Where are they? Who are they? What are they? These nouns that are pouring into you, your business leaders, your strategic planning. Like, where is all of that? Where are all of those things coming from? And here's the also juiciness of it all is that if you've been following for any stretch of the imagination, then you know all of my soul work you could use at different times, but you could also use them collectively. And so as you're thinking about moving, and I'm going to use a framework that I have, your boxes of overwhelm, then you can start pulling in the strategic notion of what you are going to be working on as you continue to move forward. That's why I'm asking you to write this down, because in this power half an hour, I'm giving you so much information, but I want you to be able to at any time close your eyes and imagine all of the things that are happening at this point in your life and how you are going to make sure that you're generating both your local and your strategic capacity so that you can shift differently and be bigger, bolder, better. Okay. All right. I love that. So we talked about the handle, we talked about the spokes, we talked about crafting your strategic canopy. And now for number 4, the thing I want to leave you with is this. How do you now balance it all? How are you going to balance this personal growth and these external strategies? Well, you got to go back and listen back to some replays, but there are different exercises. And in my first book, The Intersection of You and Change, I really take you through 17 stops of self-discovery. And in that is soul work. If you have any of my other books, in those are soul work. I was talking to somebody yesterday, for those of you all who are watching, this is my book called Dear Black Girl, Can We Talk? It was illustrated by my 17-year-old niece, actually. She's such an amazing artist. But inside of it, it was talking about talking to the inner you, this inner dear Black girl, and being able to do work in there because you can see yourself sitting as her right there if you are a dear Black girl. Dear Contagious Vulnerability takes you to a place in the space of you being courageous and contagious with your vulnerability. What does that look like? So I want you to be able to add these pieces of you in self-discovery, not only to your work, your life, your home, but also be able to place it inside of what I'm calling your capacity umbrella. Okay. This, how do you balance it all? Well, first is to get it all there. And then you know what I'm going to say, because I always talk about these 3 Ds. You're going to do it, you're going to delegate it, or you're going to disappear from it. We choose what we allow into our space. And so as you're thinking strategically, I want you to first get it all out. Then I want you to see it. And then I want you to assess it. This is your umbrella, right? This is you building and generating capacity. But the first thing you got to do is get it out, get it on paper, see it, and then assess, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to do it? Are you going to delegate it? Or are you going to disappear from it? So I hope you too are writing out what that looks like for you in your life. The last thing I want to leave you with before I ask if there's anything that anybody has to add to this, because I know you've been thinking about your capacity umbrella, is embracing the full potential of your capacity umbrella. Right. Certified coaching can absolutely help you do that. I'm happy to partner with you on your journey, but also listening to podcasts, going back and doing your soul work, going back and doing things that are going to help you move bigger, better, bolder, going back and assessing, you know what? I'm not going to go backward in what I did. That's already gone. But what I will do is leverage these lessons and be able to shift differently as I move forward. What is my strategic plan? Let me make some time inside of my calendar with notifications, maybe 2, 3, or 4, whatever you need to spark the action. You know, when I wrote my first book, this is a true story. When I wrote my first book, I didn't recognize I was writing a book first. I was journaling. I was going through so much change in my life at this time, and I was just journaling and journaling. And then people were coming to me with tough periods in their life, and they were saying, how are you juggling so much and you are still standing and you're still smiling and life hasn't really shut you down? And I started talking to them about these exercises that they could do, which I started deeming as soul work. And I tell you this story because I started going to the Chamber of Commerce in Baltimore. Was it Baltimore County or city? I feel like it was Baltimore County. And I would go there every week, once a week, from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. And I would literally write. I'm sharing this because sometimes you have to build your capacity by getting out of the space that is most comfortable for you. I would have loved to stay at home. But what I know is when I stay at home, yes, I can get things done, but there's things that pull at me. Like I already know I need to clean this. I need to do that. I have this. If for those of you all who are watching, there's a flip chart right here on my wall because I live by the things that I talk to you all about. Those things are so important. So as we talk about how we're going to build capacity, you don't start with the how, you start with the what, and the how will come. The how to get those things done are the last thing you're going to think of, because right now we're talking about how are you going to generate capacity. Well, today I've talked to you about a thought, a consideration on how you're going to go about doing that. You're going to write it out. You're going to draw what I'm calling your capacity umbrella. And I've talked to you about the handle that's there. I've talked to you about the spokes that's there. I've talked to you about crafting what I'm calling your strategic canopy. I've talked about balancing it a little bit, and then also about how do you embrace it? How are you going to get support as you continue forward in this thing? So I want to open it up and see if anybody.
I do. I've been listening.
Good morning. Oh my goodness. Good morning. Good morning. 86 is a blessing.
From a small town, Corona, New Jersey, 25 miles from Broadway and 42nd Street. My mother told me an afterthought, if you said to my parents, I'll give you $1,000, they would have taken it because they did. I mean, they were just, anyhow, I had no self-esteem. I had nothing. And then married a man my mother hated. She said, go ahead, marry him if you want, but don't come home to me. Anyhow, all of that, I had been through hell and back 4,762 ways. And I wrote a book about 4 years ago. It's a long story. Anyhow, I met the love of my life when I was 73.
Oh, wow.
After I had 4 heart attacks, I had an aortic aneurysm when I was with it. I had 6 stitches. I had double lobar pneumonia. I had a heart attack during double lobar pneumonia. I had 3 times, dead 3 times. And I'm here. And damn, I'm going to help women. Damn, I'm got Uber drivers. I'm lifting up. Because God at me here, or I'm just a New Jersey girl, but I am tough as nails. Everybody calls me sweet. I have no way in hell sweet. I'm honest. And that's, I applaud you. I think when the glass ceiling is cracked, it's not broken. And my 2 daughters are big executives of big companies, the same company, but it's nothing. They learned from me. My three grandsons and my grandsons' girlfriends and wives have learned from me. And I have a 14-year-old granddaughter who is incredible, never going to be scammed by anybody. And I told her, you live your life and you have to be you. If you find a partner, you have to be on the same page. Mm-hmm. I have a great grandbaby, so that's my story.
Amen. Well, thank you, Jenny. I am so excited that you are here. My grandmother is 92. She'll be 93 January. And so I'm excited that you are finding such joy in the soul work, but also around a community that's going to continue to help you to pull out all of the greatness that is absolutely there. You know, when I wrote this particular poem in this particular book, I wrote it for my grandmother. And I wrote it for her because oftentimes when you're more seasoned in life, what I've found, and so that's why it's so exciting to hear you and the spark that you have, because you're continuing to generate capacity at all types of levels at 86 years old. And it's amazing. Oftentimes I find the opposite of the spectrum, whereby when folks get more seasoned, they start, believing that they don't have capacity. They start believing that they don't have worth. And so I'm excited to be able to hear that your worth is shining through, and you are just such a testimony of how generating capacity at all levels can make you just an amazing spirit that continues to come out. So thank you so much, Jenny. I appreciate that. Was there someone else who wanted to pop in on this topic that we have today?
Good morning, Lolita.
Hey, Yolanda, how are you? Good morning. Yes, good morning. Good morning.
Not in the room when you share, but I check it out on Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
And this morning, from the original segment with Renee and Glenn and Lisa, and now you, the soul work, Lolita, with the is the growth work for me.
Yes.
And at one time, I didn't believe that. Mm-hmm. And each and every day, like you say, as a caregiver, I have to get out of here so that I can have my soul work. And then I'm renewed. And, what gets me through and continues to get me through. And, you and I connected back when I was at my lowest, Lolita. I just want to say grateful God to you. Grateful God to you. But it's the hope that God continues to bless me to have.
Yeah.
And that hope leads me to be there for other people as well. And just having that hope, it just declares the good things that I know that I'm worthy of. And even if I have a not so good day, Lolita with the T, I have hope and I am growing. I believe right now at 61, I'm in my prime.
Yes.
Said capacity. So thank you for the exercise. I have my notes. I didn't get everything, but I'm going to go back. See, that's the good thing. When it's recorded in the replays, we can go back and resonate and delve into what we need from other people and who are supportive, authentic, genuine people. So thank you very much for your segment and sharing the wealth of goodness to me.
Amen. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. I think one of the things that I was thinking while you were talking is sometimes when you generate capacity at this local and strategic level of what I'm saying is that it allows you to now shift a lot of that to others who are around you. And that's some of what I heard you saying today. I actually love that Linnell also added in and said, leverage lessons. She reminded me of something that I said during this session. It says, leverage lessons and create a strategic plan for your life. Sometimes it's necessary to remove yourself from a comfortable environment in order to capture a vision for your own life. It is. And here's the power of it. Sometimes when you go back and listen to it again, or somebody reminds you of something that you said, you really think about it a little bit differently so that now it impacts you. So again, I want to share with you all that there's power in your voice. There's power in your voice. Oh, I love this. So Evelyn said, excellent subject, learning so much from the various inputs. It matters, everyone. There's power in your voice. So articulating what it is that you're doing or you're feeling is so important, because your story is not yours, it's for someone else. So I have a couple more minutes, and if there's anybody else who wants to add in.
I don't want to add, I just want to say we can show our gratitude for you through emojis. I like to tell my story in emojis.
I love that.
I just got passed in a room by a young guy who showed no respect for my age. And at one time it would have bothered me, but he was a jerk. So.
I love it, right? Disappear from it. I love it. It's not yours. It's not yours to take in. Thank you so much, Jenny. And was there someone else who had opened their mic? Okay. One of the things I want to do. Oh, hey, how are you? Hey, Linnell. Congratulations on all of the things. I'm just so excited for you and your journey. It's so exciting to see.
Oh, thank you so much. And I'm excited for you. Like, I remember when I first got on Clubhouse and I heard your voice for the first time and all of your acronyms and the things. And you have always been someone that you're an overflow kind of person. That's the only way I can explain it. Every time you touch a room, whether it's on Clubhouse, if it's in person, I know that your students feel it in the education arena. It's just where you come into contact with someone who has a genuine spirit to pour out into you so that you can pour out into others. And it's something that comes from a deep place in your heart. It's not a tactic. It's an actual plan to help other people. And that is such a beautiful gift. And I just am so glad that I have an opportunity to hear you today. And I'm so proud of your journey. It is such a pleasure to hear you. Such a pleasure to be a part of this moment with you. And thank you for all that you do.
Oh, thank you.
Miss Lolita.
Thank you. You know, the power of this, and thank you for that last comment there, because the power of this capacity umbrella that I want to leave you all with is that there's strength from the handle of it to the spokes that are there, to the capacity of the canopy itself, to the blessings that are falling down that are hitting you personally and professionally. This whole framework that I shared with you today of what I called Walker & Walker Enterprises capacity umbrella, I want you to be able to take that. Every time you put up an umbrella, I want you to think about your local and your strategic capacity that you generate each and every day. Be intentional about it. Write it down. If you missed the details, then head into any of the platforms I talked about, including my podcast. And I can't wait to hear what you all are doing with the capacity that you're building. Thanks so much. And I'll chat you guys next week.